Hey everyone, welcome back to TJ Hates Quitters over here on Silent Podcast, where we are anything but silent. My name is Kari. I am joined by my co-host Katie. Katie, how are you this evening?
I'm great. We were just saying right before we went live, it's a great day to be a double O Nelly T fan, and here I am in all my glory. I'm ready to celebrate my guy Nelly. How are you?
54 straight daily losses, and he did it with his teammate
Yep,
Nerys this
broke the
episode.
streak. I mean,
Ah,
I give most of the credit to Nerys, but
me
we'll
too.
talk about it. We'll talk about it. Whatever. He
um,
he did good after the challenge. I was impressed too. I mean, we haven't really ever seen Nelly T in power, and here we go.
mhm.
We have him, and I loved it. Loved every second of it.
So
Great
I
Nelly
have
episode.
Yes, I've been watching season 37 because, as we know, I hadn't watched it when it was on. And CT, during the end of season 37, won his 55th daily competition. And it took Nelly T 54 losses in a row
Wow.
to get his, which is wild when you think about it. Absolutely
That's really
wild.
wild. I actually never realized until this season that Nelson has never won a daily challenge. So this was
So
all very
was it
new
he never
information to
won?
me. I
Or is
don't
it
know if
just
it's
a
that he never
streak
won or
of
just that it's a streak, but
yeah,
I guess I can look it up.
regardless.
Let me look it up.
For how many seasons he's been on to take and like he's athletic. The
He's won.
problem is
He's won 9 total.
okay. So it was just a streak of 54.
Yes, a streak of 54 losses.
Just crazy. But it was broken. So yeah, when at the episode I watched yesterday, I think CT is like, "Yep, my 55th daily win. Not that I'm counting or anything." And I'm like, "55. Nelly T is on 54 straight losses. Holy shit."
It's wild. That's wild to me.
But
Completely wild.
Nerys with the brains really helping to like even out Nelly T's athleticism because he
Yes.
is athletic. He's fast, he's strong, but there might be two goldfish swimming around up there in the
There
in
very
the
well could
noggin.
be. Yeah, there very well could be. But that's what makes him so lovable. For
Yeah.
me, anyway.
So big Nelly T episode that we will dive into. He was surrounded by smart women this episode that really
Yeah.
propelled him to places, and it seems like no one caught on to that as well. But well, at
Yeah.
least within the house, I'm sure viewers did, but within the house, it seemed like no one caught on that it's behind a strong Nelly T is
Hmm.
intelligent women
Yep.
getting him his first daily challenge win and his mastermind appearance in the house.
Yeah. Well, you love to see it. And I love how, well, we could talk about it later, but I was just saying, I feel like he's been so respectful of Nerys too. And I love that
Mm-hmm.
in like a male female partnership because I feel like a lot of times on the show, we don't get that. So I love seeing that from Nelson. Especially
Okay,
with Nelson's past
overall,
of being so rude to
right.
people, specifically
Yeah.
women on the show.
Yeah. Um, overall, right now, I am actually incredibly impressed, which, like, I hate applauding the bare minimum, but we
Right.
haven't seen one instance of a man being a douche to his woman partner yet
Yeah,
this season.
I'm shocked. I think we'll see it. I think we'll get there, but I'm shocked that we haven't seen any even like glimpse of that yet. Which
Yes.
thankfully, I mean, it is the year of 2022. It's about time to stop being disrespectful to women. So, way to go, men, I guess. You're right. We're applauding the bare minimum.
Yeah. But for the challenge, this isn't the bare minimum. This is
No, yeah, this is like
incredibly
gold star.
surprising.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I do want to just put that out there that so far, proud of the men for treating the women respectfully, and vice versa. The women are like people are treating their partners with respect, and obviously when you're in here with like your ride or die, it's a lot easier than when it's like rivals and you
Hmm.
have Amanda and Zach partnered together, or whatever
Right,
it may
right.
be. Which, bringing up Amanda, just a quick season 37 side note. I love the chaos that she brings to any
Yeah.
season. She is, oh, she's just so good, so good. Um, we saw some of it. We saw a lot of it actually in season 37. I was glad to have her back. It's been fun watching that. Surprising, like I know a lot of people were down on it, but
I gave up
um,
as
yeah,
famously.
honestly,
Not famously, but we've talked about it.
let's let's do a quick sidebar here before we get into this episode. I think I've discovered another issue with the challenge
Okay.
that
Among many, I'm sure.
yeah, I mean I've already given my 4 ways to fix the challenge. Here's I don't know if this is as easy of a fix, but to me the last few seasons of the challenge are while being built to be week by week, when you binge the season, it's so much better.
Hmm. I feel that way about Survivor personally.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's just because 'cause we've been, like, spoiled by the way things, allow you to binge them,
Yeah.
like with Netflix or whatever, but in what I've sat there now, mind you, binging is hard because you have to watch this season 37 on the MTV app,
Mm.
which they have 2.5-minute commercials, which drive me up a wall, like, let me
Why is the
pay.
challenge not on Paramount Plus?
Dude, it is like, they want to kill the challenge, I
It's
think,
mind
like,
blowing.
it's stupid, it's absolutely stupid, so you can't, like unless you're recording it, you can't just, like, whiz through an episode, you have to sit here through these
Hmm.
2-minute and 30-second commercials, which, by the way, I have seen some wild fucking
Oh, I'm
commercials.
sure. What's the most wild commercial that you can think that you've seen so far?
Oh, well, it is, election day eve, which, by the way, go out and vote.
Yes,
Vote
everybody
blue or
please go out and vote.
only if you're voting for Democrats. If you're voting for Republicans, stay home. But,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you have something better to do.
I told a person canvassing that. I was like, "Are you planning on voting?" She's like, "No." And I'm like, well, can I convince you to vote for some Democrats?" And she's like, "I'm a Republican." I'm like, "Okay, don't go vote then," and just walked
Okay, great. Stay
away.
home. Bye.
um, but there's someone named Kari Lake who is up for election, and um Democrats from outside the state of Illinois have paid for this commercial, and it goes, Carrie fake,"
Oh my
and they
God.
show her on a bunch of different fake things, including a massive pair of fake tits. It's just her face over each boob. I'm not even lying. You know what? I've considered multiple
um,
times to, like, record this commercial to
Please
show
do.
it
It's
to
probably on
people.
YouTube.
It may be. It's absolutely absurd. It is the biggest pair of
Oh my
fake
God.
tits, and it's her face over each one.
Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake.
So, yeah, that's the most ridiculous ad that I have seen a lot of.
Amazing. I'm Googling it right now.
So, while you're Googling that, yes, my complaint is or not my complaint, but my, like, point is I think a lot of us are getting fed up with the challenge, um, because maybe there is in the back of their minds, like, let's make it bingeable because really it's airing once live, but its longevity is going to be on a streaming app. And so, are you playing for the long game where, like, oh, if you watch this season when they finally do put it on Paramount Plus and you're able to watch it in 2, 3, 4 days, watching 3 to 4 episodes in a row and enjoy it versus like what we're seeing currently week by week.
You're giving them a lot of credit to have the foresight to think that, especially because they're not releasing it on the one streaming app that their parent
Yeah.
company owns, or they are the parent company. Viacom is the parent company, I think. I don't know. It's rough. But yeah, I mean, I think it's probably better suited for binge anyway, because sometimes the editing on the live show is a little rough, like week to week.
Mhm.
So I can understand like why it would be more exciting to watch it on a binge, because you wouldn't have to deal with some of their like annoying cutoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It makes
So I don't
sense.
know. I'm at the final of season 37 right now. I mean, it helps that I know who won with my boy CT bringing home another victory,
Mm-hmm.
and we do get some of as they kick out some of the rookies, which like kind of sucks. Obviously, there's a few who make it pretty far, but you get a lot of like the good personalities. Like you have Kyle being Kyle, just like straight up snake. CT
Yeah.
not dealing with Kyle's snakiness, and also like CT in power when like there's CT in power when he just wants to lay low and not make any enemies, and then there's CT endgame in power where he's like, go ahead, you're not gonna fuck with
Mm-hmm.
me, I know it. Like you're not gonna put me in this elimination because you don't know what it's gonna be. And so I haven't minded it in the binge format minus these commercials, but plus the Kari fake tits. So
Yeah. I'm with King Cash. 37 is the only season I ever quit as well, but I did not return for the final because the final to me is the most boring episode, and I already know
yeah,
who won. So
me too. I'm going to say something a little, I don't want to say controversial. I think you're just going to be surprised by what I'm
oh,
saying.
if it's something positive about Casey, I don't want to
It
hear
is.
it. I
It
knew as soon as you
is.
said it, I knew by the inflection in your voice it was going to be something positive about Casey.
She she was less boring as things went on just because I think like having to be the wrangler of both Fessy and Josh, and I think Nani brings out a little bit more exciting. If you could tell she just has like an excitement for it. She's not interesting, but she's at least like excited and passionate about the challenge, which I can't take away from her. Sure, she could be more interesting, but I don't dislike her as much as I used to. Um and I still don't really want her on there, but I used to just be like, getting rid of Casey was one of my 4 rules. And now
It's true.
I'm not sure if I appreciate that she brings this athleticism and someone that you have to beat, but I wish she was more exciting. However, I just don't think she's as boring as she once was.
Well, it only took her like 6 seasons of reality
Yeah.
TV to get slightly less boring, I guess. So, like, good for her. But she's extremely boring this season. She's barely on the show.
Well, that's because she was out for 3 weeks with COVID. Her and her brother were
But she's been back.
patient zero.
Yeah, I know. It's wild. The whole thing is wild.
But
I like
here's the
saw her
thing.
walk by doing like something, and I was like, oh yeah, Casey's on this show.
I can I would prefer it kind of like how we're also getting Fessy in a way where like keep them as background characters until they need to be in the forefront. Like let them be there and maybe be one of like the top 3 teams finishing in any given challenge, right? But like if I don't have to is I don't need them to be exciting when we have people like I don't know, Laurel is always good for natural drama. Bananas is
Mm-hmm.
bananas. Like um Devin is his like smart ass self. I mean, we've got Jarrell who's got some of the best commentary
Love
and
Jarrell.
confessionals. Like even Jordan to an extent. Jordan this season is weird to me right now.
So
He's almost
weird.
like too positive. Like
So weird. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because when I watched the other day when I got home from DC and then I fell asleep on the couch while I was watching it, so I just rewatched it again. And I was like thrown off by every confessional of Jordan's. I was like, since when is Jordan like nice?
yeah, when does he like
What's happening?
support anybody besides himself?
Right.
And in a way, like that's what made Jordan Jordan, where it's like he didn't give a fuck who you were, how you moved. Like he was still gonna navigate his way through this
Yeah.
game with or without you. But the approach he's taking, even to some, I mean, like he's in the house with Fessy, who Tori hooked up with after they broke up, and like he's in the house with fucking Tori, and I don't think he's the biggest Devin fan. Like, there's just a lot of people in there that he could just kind of be like, go fuck yourself to, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still keeping this like very happy demeanor. The way he was like gassing up Anissa
Yeah.
and he was like, I love Tommy Bracco or
That's
whatever.
what really threw me.
Bracco.
I was like, what
He's
is
like, I
happening
love him.
here?
I hope he comes back and all.
I
I'm
was
like,
like,
who the
why?
is this Jordan's nice twin? Because Jordan's got to be the evil twin. Is this Schmorden? It's Gordon. We've got
It's
Gordon and
Gordon. Yeah,
Jordan.
it's Gordon.
So
It's
they
Gordon.
just didn't tell us that they recruited Gordon this
Yeah,
season
we're getting
instead of
Gordon.
Jordan.
Yeah, that was especially the elimination confessionals. I was like, what? What? What's happening here? I don't know. And like, how long has Jordan even like been in the same place as Tommy to say I love Tommy Bracco? Like
Like
he
6 days,
came in
if
halfway through
that.
the season. Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Yeah, I just am bewildered by a lot of the. I my thought on it is Jordan knows he has to be on his best behavior because I think they used All Stars as like a trial run, and
Mm,
they're like, "All right, you're on a very short leash, Jordan, and to make the leash even more tight for you, we're gonna give you Anissa as a partner."
yeah.
But he's doing well so far with her. Like
Yeah.
but that's the thing is like Anissa can win a
Yeah,
daily
she's not
challenge.
bad. I just don't think she
Anissa
would win
can
a
win an
final.
elimination. Yeah, but and when yeah, exactly. When most of these finals require um like stamina and endurance, it's just that that's not how Anissa's built.
Right.
And but I don't know. The Jordan we're getting Gordon right now is
Yeah.
just
Wild.
very confusing.
Extremely confusing. I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely noticed that as well.
Well, while we're talking about personalities, the
Mm.
beginning of this episode kind of started like an episode of Love Island in a way where we were like checking in on all the couples.
Yeah, kind of made me laugh a little bit. I was like, okay, this is funny. It's frustrating though because I feel like, and I'm not all up on everything that we haven't seen on the show, but it sounds like there's a lot of altercations that we have not been shown on the show and drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather see that than like a stupid story about Fessy hooking up with like girl number 17 since he's been on the challenge. Like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't need to see everything, but we need to see something for drama
Right.
because
Right.
that's just kind of the stuff that keeps the challenge going as well. And
Yeah.
also it helps explain some of the relationships.
Exactly. I feel like it adds some color to things that maybe we wouldn't get otherwise. Not that I feel like we're really necessarily missing a lot of it, but I don't really know where a lot of these relationships stand. Like when Nerys was saying Olivia was her best friend in the house, I don't know that I've ever even seen them have a conversation.
Right.
And she's like,
And
she's my best friend. I was like, wait, what? She is? The challenge people love to say that people are their best friends when they're not their best friend, by the way.
I think they have what I would call camp goggles, which
Mm,
is when you're in like a very intense environment, I feel like your relationships, whether they are friendships or like romantic, just grow at 3 times the speed
hmm
of what a normal friendship does. I always used to joke when I worked at camp that like each meal started a new day. That's how camp time worked, you know? Like,
Interesting.
so like between breakfast and lunch is like you could have so much shit go down. And then between
Oh, yeah.
lunch and dinner and then like dinner to breakfast like just the amount of things that could happen at that amount of time. um so I'm sure that it's the same with them because they have like nothing else except each other to
hmm
keep themselves amused. So it doesn't surprise me given like my experience with camp and just like knowing how both friendships and like romantic things can
Yeah.
like I if I could, like, be anonymous on a podcast and just talk about all the dumb shit I've seen happen at camp,
That'd be a fun
I
podcast.
oh, it would. I have some fucking stories. We used to do TMZ Greeley, which is the camp I worked
Ooh.
at, my first year, and, like, after every day off, my friend and I would, like, drop a one-page newsletter of just, like, the dumb shit that went down on days off, but anyway, I we'll get back on topic.
I love
So,
that.
yeah, we had, like, some check-ins with some couples, but speaking to what you were talking about, um, like, I would love to know, did the Devin and Colleen fight happen prior to this elimination or after this elimination, because we know that she wrote him an apology note
In
in German,
German.
which made him even more mad, which
Yeah.
again, I would have show me that. That is so funny. I don't know
Right.
why we protect Devin in this instance. Like, but to me, if that happened before this elimination, then the choice of Olivia and Horacio choosing to put them in over Jarrell and Veronica makes complete sense, because
Yeah.
why are you going to put your neck out for um, someone to or someone who has pissed off one of the bigger personalities, the more
Right.
well-connected personalities in the house, when if you save the vets, it's like, all right, I just have this one pair mad at me, and what's the likelihood of them winning or like getting power versus these, like, I don't know, 20 other pairs, because we keep adding someone every week. Like, that makes sense to me if it
Mm-hmm.
happens in that order. But if it doesn't happen in that order, I question it a bit, because it's like, well, I guess, like, why wouldn't you want to save the rookies when you're
Well,
rookies?
my feeling on it, and this is not a pro Annalise and Tommy take that I'm about to give, but it feels hypocritical because this is exactly what Tommy and Annalise did. Was
Mm-hmm.
what Olivia and Horacio did was say, okay, we'll save both of these teams if we get the safe thing. That way they'll save us and we're guaranteed not to go in. That's literally exactly what Annalise and Tommy did. And Nelson and Nerys were like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do it. But then the reason that they put Annalise and Tommy in were like, well, you went back on your word in front of the whole house. It's like, wait, but that's exactly what's happening right now. Like, I'm confused at the difference.
Well, Olivia
How is it
said
different?
that they've never talked game with Colleen and Kim. That
Yeah.
it was kind of just like understood that because they were rookies, but I guess that fell apart. And I think the other difference is Tommy and Annalise made their double promise with absolutely no backing of anybody
Well,
else.
yeah, that was, I mean,
That was just like
it was
them
so bad.
moving. And where like Nelson and Nerys had
Yeah.
Olivia and Horacio's back.
But they were like, no one will know that we'll work together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they wanted to hide it. I don't know. It just seemed
It's
like
yeah.
it was a
I
little
definitely get your
similar
point.
and a little hypocritical.
I get your point. Um, I agree with that. I just thought of something that I wanted to say, but I forgot. It's fine. Um,
It'll come to you.
eventually, I'm sure. So, couples we have in the house that they checked in on. We have Fessy and Colleen. We have well, Nerys lost Johnny.
Hmm.
We kind of have Laurel and Horacio.
Yeah, it seems like they're lightly flirting.
Yeah. Um, I'm forgetting the others. Who else do we have?
Well, they showed Jordan and Tori cuddling
Yeah.
and Nelson and Olivia.
Right, right, right. Oh yeah, because it was such a big deal that he like put her in after. And Jay
Hmm.
was like,
Hmm.
"You hooked up with her the night before." Um,
I just love like every Nelly T confessional because it's like so over the top dumb. Where it's like,
mhm.
I finally found love in the chat. And I'm like, oh my God, you are so just
You
ridiculous,
do every
completely ridiculous.
season. Last season
Right.
was
Like, what do you hook up
Berna.
with someone every single season?
I did like how he said that Nerys is responsible because he's not. And he needs that.
Yeah, I like that.
Or he said, like, with power comes responsibility, but I'm not responsible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're like, we know. Nelly T,
yeah,
we know.
yeah. What do you think about King Cash's question? Would this season be more interesting if they went solo halfway through? What do you think?
It would depend on how they scheme it. I don't think it would do much if it's not like well developed to cause drama. You know what I mean? Like, I think if by the time we're halfway through, you're still going to have all these people who've been playing together for
Hmm.
however long, that they would really need to make sure that it isn't just the same majority alliance running things.
I would like to see it as like them switch into like a rivals season with their like rivals on the cast being partnered up with each other,
Mhm.
like switching partner instead of going solo. Because I think solo makes it a little too easy to just make an alliance of the people you've already been working with and just like not vote them in. But I think if they had to switch partners, that could get pretty interesting, especially if there were people that the partners like didn't like for whatever
Mhm.
reason. But it couldn't be like Nelson and Nerys going with like swapping with like I'm just picking someone random, like Devin and Tori, because then it would just be like the four of them working together. It would have to be like
Mhm.
totally random, like completely split up.
The other issue with that is that the season wouldn't end until like 2024.
I already feel like we might still not be in the negatives for losing people. Maybe one, maybe we're down one team in total because of Nam and his partner quitting.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think we'd be breaking even,
Mhm.
right?
It's got to be somewhere around there. I was so glad when TJ didn't add anybody
I was
in
like,
at
oh
the
my
end of
god,
this.
is he? What is he doing now? Because I think that I already knew that potentially Darrell and Veronica were the last team, but I was like, I don't know, maybe I just like didn't read enough.
I read that Veronica convinced people that Cara Maria and Paulie were coming in
Oh
after
my god,
her.
what a nightmare
So
that would have
that's why
been.
at the end of that elimination, they people were like very much on edge because Veronica had convinced a bunch of them that she was like in a hotel with Cara Maria.
That would have been horrible for us to have to watch Carmery and Polly. Um, Polly is still just being a monster on social media.
He was
He's
in
like
Chicago
attacking
doing
Laurel. Oh
comedy this
right.
week. I
Did
didn't
we hear
go.
anything about it?
I've only seen like pictures and stuff. I haven't. I'm sure that there's something on the subreddit about it. I
Yeah,
just
I
haven't
should look
gone
that
and
up.
looked.
King Cash asks if they still do purges. I haven't seen a purge in quite a while, but they have
Yeah,
been
a
doing
few
this thing where
seasons.
they do like eliminations mid final. So it's like they bring
Yeah.
5 teams to the final instead of 3 or whatever, and then they do an elimination midway through. So it's
Um,
like kind of a purge, but not in the same way they used to do it.
the end of 37. So they had a men's elimination, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's it. We've got 5 men, 5 women. We're probably going to the final." And TJ was like, "Tonight's the night of elimination." So then they did a women's elimination right
Mm.
then and there, and then they did another men's elimination right then and there. So
Oh
that's
my
like
god,
kind of
that's like
close.
kind of a purge, I guess.
So 3 people went home that one night. Um, but I don't know if that counts as like a true purge. But 3 people went
Kind
home.
of, I guess.
CT called it the night of mistakes because every person who called someone down called
Lost.
called down. Well, yeah. So like the first one, they didn't know what the elimination was gonna be, but they could see the setup of it,
Mm-hmm.
and he like called down probably like the most like young athletic one. Like if he had called down Devin, he would have beat Devin. I don't know if you remember
Right.
Logan. He was the one from Spain that was like kind of messing around with Big T at the beginning of last season. Um,
Nope.
but he calls down Emmanuel from Romania, and like Emmanuel beats him. If he had called down Devin, he definitely beats Devin. I don't know if he beats
Mm-hmm.
anybody else. And then in the women's elimination, Amanda gets sent down, and she calls down Tori, and it ends up being a version of where you have to like get the ball in the bucket,
Oh
and there's
yeah.
like wrestling. So I mean, Tori's like twice her size. Tori literally like did her own version of the bananas backpack with her. Like she carried Amanda to the ball so that she could go get it. Where
Not a
she
great
like picked,
move.
if she had picked Nani, like there's a chance she beats Nani. And then
Yeah.
Emmanuel goes back down. He gets voted in, goes back down, and he picks Devin. And then they find out it's 3 puzzles.
Oh my
And
god.
it's like if you had picked
Wait,
anybody but.
Devin made it to the final?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So like if he had picked Nelson, I mean he destroys Nelson. Like I don't
Yeah.
even know if Nelson can spell puzzles. So
I love Nelson. Listen, Nelson's a mastermind, okay?
this week it is definitely not Olivia Nerys behind it. Definitely not. So anyway, that's like the closest we get to
mm.
purge was we had 3 eliminations in one night last season. Um all right, so we checked in on the couples. Let's go to the daily challenge. And Darrell's been there for all of like 6.5 hours, and they're already putting him 300 feet up in the air. Poor Darrell.
Poor Darrell. Even TJ made a comment about like, oh, we were waiting for you or something like that.
Yeah.
But he did good. I mean, like he stuck with it.
Yeah, he did. He was fine.
Yeah. I like that Veronica was like, I'll give you the bottom bunk because I know you're scared of heights.
I wonder who she's gonna be like friendly with in the house.
I don't know. She's friends with Anissa, right?
Oh, I forgot Anissa's there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they like even out of necessity would probably
Yeah.
bond a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder who else besides Darrell. I know Darrell and her were the like main two spearheading. Was it her? Was she on the same season as Alton for All Stars?
No.
Okay, I was thinking I must be thinking of someone else,
No.
maybe Jemmy. Um, the like Democratic versus Republican
Ugh.
fights happening in the All Stars house. But
Ugh.
anyway, yeah, I wonder who she's hanging out with.
I have to assume Anissa and then probably Tori, and I'm sure she knows Nani, so I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
by default Nani and then Casey because they're a package
Yeah,
deal. Maybe Bananas. I don't know if she's like cool with Bananas, but I mean, just the old school vibe probably
I
has
could see
them.
her not liking Bananas because
I'm
of
sure
how
she does not like
Bananas,
Bananas. Yeah.
yeah, has treated women over the years.
Yeah.
Did you see that Bananas and Mariah were like probably hooking up postseason?
Who's Mariah?
Fessel's partner. Sorry, Fessel.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw
Oh, I
on.
think she had a confessional tonight, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" Because I
It
feel
was
like I've
like,
never seen her. I guess she did win last week, but I was just like, "Who is that?" I've never seen that person in my life.
yeah, it felt very unnatural for her to have that confessional
Yeah,
spot. It was kind of confusing when I saw her. I'm like, why is she giving us this insight? There's got to be someone
yeah. I
better
was
to
like,
do this than
"Who's
her.
that?"
Yeah, apparently on Instagram, some people sleuthed it out and saw like the back. Well, it wasn't difficult after another photo, but um like Bananas took a selfie, I think in his bathroom, and then she took a selfie, and like people pieced together that the
These
wall was the
internet
same.
sleuths are so wild. I don't know if you were paying like close attention to what was going on when Tori and Fessel were hooking up,
Yes.
and the internet sleuthing that took place was like
Oh
another
yeah.
level.
People were zooming in so hard on their iPhones to take those pictures.
Wild, wild.
Hmm. Yeah, and then um there was a picture of Bananas maybe wearing a bathing suit top, and then there was a picture of her wearing like that same bathing suit. So, in conclusion,
Let's
he's
love
found
yourself a little more.
another rookie to.
Gross. He's like an old man.
He's got to be 40, I think.
Yeah, I think he's
I
40.
mean,
I mean,
given like
compared to these women, he's
I
an
was
old
gonna say
man.
like we're in our
No,
mid
yeah, like not compared
30s,
to
so
me, he's not an old man, but compared to the women on the show, he's an old man.
yeah. Besides like Anissa and Veronica,
Right.
I don't think Anissa's hooking up with Bananas anytime soon,
Oh,
nor Veronica.
what a
So,
time that would be.
hmm so yeah, there's that little side note. There's something there, but all right, the daily challenge. Essentially, this one's hard to describe in my opinion. It took me seeing it to understand how this was supposed to happen because I felt like I did listen to the instructions, but I didn't understand the instructions. So, let's say Katie and I are partners, and Katie, do you want to run or do you want to jump or do you want to hang?
Oh my God. Probably hang.
Okay, well,
I would
I
probably
hope.
want to hang. I mean, neither, but I think I would probably want to hang. Ugh,
All right.
I don't know.
I got little legs. I don't even know if I'm gonna reach you. I would jump like Veronica, where I would be like
That
a
was a
foot
great slow mo.
a foot short of you, but we'll try it anyway. So
Yeah.
there's this bar that is set up basically like off of cranes, off of a building, and that means Katie has to hang on to that bar for as long as she can. And once Katie decides she can no longer hang on, she's going to tell me to run and jump off this building and to grab onto her. And then science would take my momentum and swing Katie and I back, and either
We
Katie
would
or
grab a
I
flag.
would try to grab this flag that is behind us. So the goal is to grab the flag, and then if multiple teams grab the flag, it's the team that was able to hang on to the bar the longest before getting the flag.
Yeah, the goal is not to put your arms out and just like weirdly celebrate or take in the moment, like Tommy, who was just like, and it's actually to go and grab the flag.
Okay, I had to Google how tall Tommy was, specifically during his elimination challenge, because I was like, I might be taller than this man, and I'm 4'10".
What did I've seen Tommy in person. So
Okay, are you
what did
taller than
Google
him?
tell you? Significantly taller than him. I'm 5'6" and I'm significantly taller than him.
It told me 5'4".
No, he's
I
not
don't
five
think he
four.
looks
No,
five
he is
four.
not 5'4". He's like maybe 5'2", but
That
he
would
is
make
not
more
five foot
sense to
four.
me.
There's no way he's 5'4". There was a noticeable height difference.
Hmm. Yeah, it said 5'4", and like I know 5'4" because all of the men in my family are 5'4", so I
Yeah.
know that height distinctively.
I was like,
And
Tommy looks like Wee Man at this
yeah,
elimination from Jackass. I was like, this could be Wee Man in a challenge uniform, and I would not be surprised. Like, that's how small he looked to me. No shade
uh,
to Wee Man. Wee Man probably would have done better at this challenge than Tommy. The elimination, rather. And the challenge,
and
actually.
the
Both.
challenge,
And both.
yeah, yeah, just overall. But um, so yeah, Tommy's approach to it when Annalise got like a good jump, like she was so close to getting that flag while Tommy
She's
was
pretty
Titanicing.
athletic. I think she's a
Yeah,
soccer player or something.
I bring. I would take Annalise back by herself on a season. I'll give her one
We
shot.
we just did the Big Brother 21 like recap yesterday
Is
of,
that the season she was on?
yeah, so Isaiah, myself, Julia, and Jake just kind of like recapped, and it just really made me hate every single person on that season so much. Then when I was watching this again today, I was like, God, I hate them so much. Like I just hate them so much. I don't want them back. I don't want them back.
I
Also,
don't want
King
Tommy
Cash with
back.
another great comment is that I would run halfway and then realize last place doesn't go in and stop. And it's true. Why do this? Why do
I
this?
thought he was referencing Katie, like All Stars Katie, because she's so
Oh,
afraid of
I was saying
heights.
I would do that
But
too. But yes, Katie from All Stars, old school Katie probably would do the same thing. And it's a good
so,
strategy.
I mean, in this case, yeah, there's no punishment. Bring back if you come in last that you have to go in.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
There needs to be some punishment for being last in the
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so only well, first of all, what did you think of this challenge?
It's okay, I guess. I never really like the challenges where like there's running and jumping and hanging over things. Like they're just not that interesting to me. I liked that there was a tiny bit of strategy from Nerys.
Mhm.
But I like challenges overall where like it takes more strategic thinking to
Mhm.
really be successful. And this was not one of those. I mean, it was one of those because Nelson and Reese won, but like just up front, it didn't like come across that way. And Nelson and not Nelson, I'm sorry, Jordan or Gordon and Anissa did the same thing where Anissa hung and Jordan ran. But
Mhm.
were there any others that where the men wasn't hanging?
I don't think so. I think those were the only two.
I mean, it's smart. It's smart if the man weighs more than the woman to like use the force of their
Yeah.
momentum to swing the lighter person.
The only pair I think that it wouldn't have mattered for was probably like Casey and her brother. And
Yeah. And
maybe
maybe Tommy
Laurel
and
and Jack.
Annalise. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Um, but otherwise, no, it was always the women hanging. No,
The men.
sorry, the men hanging and the women jumping, except
Like
for the two teams that accomplished it.
I wonder if Darrell didn't jump just because he was afraid to jump.
Yeah, I mean, to tell Veronica to jump that was not smart.
No. No, and she knew. I mean, she was like, I'm not a good jumper. Like this is
Yeah,
not gonna go well.
yeah, but that would be my guess why.
I mean, as you know, I black out at instructions, both from TJ and Jeff Probst and any other person that's explaining a challenge. But I was watching this and I was like, why are there two teams just hanging here trying to grab? Like, how are we winning? Like, what's going on? Does Nelson and Jordan have to do this again? I was confused. I didn't realize that the time of the hang played
Yeah.
into the win, which I guess makes sense because Jordan was like, I'm not worried about how long and he's just hanging. I just want to get the flag. Yeah, but there was like a lot, like too much going on in this challenge, which should have been a little simple.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Um, in terms of like something to watch though. I feel like in terms of the excitement of watching it, it was better than some of the other challenges
Yeah.
that we've had because like there is the all right, oh shit, are they gonna do it? I mean, like with Annalise coming, maybe if her hands were a half an inch longer, like she gets that and
Yeah.
how close that was. And imagine how different the game is if like Tommy and Annalise win this versus Nelson and Nerys. Just
Or like
I
if
thought
Tommy was even trying to just like continue the momentum instead of just like standing in a
putting his
victory
arms up.
pose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that would have helped. To like swing his body back or something. I don't know. But yeah.
I agree. He really fucked that one up. So I not only appreciate TJ in this moment, but just like TJ overall this season seems to be giving us a bit more of like the TJ we saw on the Challenge USA, where like
Mm-hmm.
he just is coming across as caring more.
I'm
And
confused by it. I don't hate
I,
it, but I'm confused by it.
yeah, but I also think that it goes in like both directions where he's like caring more about the individuals, but also he takes like their failures
Yes.
just like he just reacts to them a lot more than I think
Yeah.
he used to. Like the amount of just him like losing his shit at Jarrell and Veronica and like the hysterically laughing. Um I'm really appreciating this level of involvement from TJ because he's fucking
Yeah.
funny.
He is funny. And I even feel like I don't know if it was last week or whenever it was, but it felt like there were times where he was like cheering people on too, almost like, yeah, let's you do it. I'm like, wait, are you
Mhm.
like allowed to? I mean, I guess Jeff Probst like screams at people throughout the entire challenge on on Survivor.
Yeah.
Maybe TJ should adopt that mentality.
He's done it a couple of times in some eliminations lately,
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
like they're in USA. He did. And I was like, "What the Jeff Probst? The fuck are you
I
doing
know.
here?"
It's weird. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
But
not the TJ that we know.
he was so happy for Nelson that he won. He's just like
Yeah. I love that.
after 54 straight dailies, finally
Finally.
get your win. Valencia just asked me a great question. And Katie, you can answer this as well. If I
Oh,
met TJ, how would I act? I personally don't think I get too starstruck because so like growing up I lived and worked like 5 minutes away from ESPN. So as a huge sports fan, um I came across quite a few both like sports personalities and athletes that
hmm,
I met like had admired, and I've done my like dumb shit already with that. I don't know if you know who Steve Levy is, but he's a sports center anchor for
I
a
know his
while. He
name.
does Monday Night Football now. He's been with ESPN forever, and he was in the movie The Ringer with like Johnny Knoxville when they like fixed the Special Olympics. I don't know if you remember that movie. Um,
No.
it it was funny, and the Special Olympics are like near and dear to my heart because I have two cousins who like have competed at them in very high levels, and so anyway, Steve Levy walks in for the first time when I'm working at this restaurant, and I stupidly at the age of 16, I'm like, oh my God, you're Steve Levy. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, of course you know.
Oh my
And
God.
every time he came in after that, because he loved our clam chowder. So he
Hmm.
came in like easily once a week. I had to like have my boss seat him because I was just like too fucking embarrassed.
Oh no.
Until finally, maybe like 6 months later, he came in and I can't remember like where my boss was. I was like, I have to do this on my own. And so I sat him and he was in the booth like right next to the host stand. And I was just like, hey, I really liked you in The Ringer. And he was like, really? I was afraid that people would be like offended by it. And I was like, listen, I like have family members who competed and I thought it was hilarious. And he's like, okay, cool. And like from then on, that was kind of my last, like, all right, they're just people too. So like Michael Irvin came in and I've like sat down, had conversations with him. Like, so I think I say all that to say, I don't think I would be that starstruck. If anything, I would just want to talk to him for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me have an unfiltered conversation and be like, listen, bro, you can tell me anything. I won't tell anyone. Like, do you hate Johnny Bananas? Who's your
Yeah.
least favorite? Like, who do you like? And I would want to like know the gossip. That's
Yeah.
really what it is. I would really just want to be like, tell me everything that nobody should know. That's what
Yeah.
how I would react. I don't think I would be too starstruck besides being like, I named my podcast after you.
It's a good name though. It's a good name.
Truly, I'm proud of it. So, how would you act, Katie, if you met TJ Lavin?
So I've learned in my elder years that I am just not the type of person that should be in the same room with a famous person because I will clam up and I will not say anything. There are times where I have been in the same area and I'm just like, nope, I'm not saying anything. And Matt, my partner, will be like, go say hi. And I'm like, nope, I have nothing to
Or
say.
you're
I don't want to
texting
bother these
me,
people.
and I'm like, do
Or I'm
it.
texting you. Yes, with someone who like I'm not going to out the situation, but someone who like knows who we are and I wouldn't go up and say hello. Like clearly knows who we are. And even like I don't know, like I met Andy Cohen a couple of times. I went to his book signings and that's like a literal place where you're supposed to like talk to fans. And I was like, I'm nervous and I don't want to go up to Andy Cohen. I was there to get a book signed and I was like, I'm scared to like get my book signed by Andy Cohen. So like I have learned that I just don't know what to say. I'm awkward. TJ though, I feel like maybe just because he is like, he's obviously a celebrity. It depends on the situation, I think.
Yeah, it would
Because I have
definitely.
like, I've been a fan of T or like maybe even saying like being a fan, but like I've watched the challenge for so long in my life that
Mhm.
I feel like I could be like, oh my God, TJ, like I'm here. But like I also wouldn't do that. I know myself, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it would have to be a situation. Like, I'm not gonna chase a celebrity down. That's not me. If anything, for me, it's cool enough to be like, "Oh, yeah, I saw TJ Lavin."
Yeah.
Like, um
I saw someone walking around the mall and then I texted you and said, I said, oh my God, I saw this person walking in the mall.
I think that's an exception. This situation would be an exception because
Mm,
we've had interactions with said person, but,
mm,
um, no, if it was like, we're in the same room and people are mingling and stuff, I would definitely say something because I feel like the worst that happens is you say something and they're a dick, and then you're like, "Oh, I have no right to hold you in the regard that I do." And I would
yeah.
rather find that out about someone than pretend to like not pretend, but unknowingly have them on this pedestal of like TJ fucking Lavin, the man. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that he is a dick or
Yeah.
anything.
No,
um,
yeah. He did a
but
cameo for me and he was glorious in the cameo. So that's like almost
oh,
like I met him, except not.
nice.
Yeah. He not he, but I very quick side note is that I went to Jersey City this weekend and I don't like hang out in Jersey. I'm not like a but I was just like manifesting that Teresa Giudice would be there. Not that I think she also hangs out in Jersey City. I have no idea, but I was like, she's someone I would definitely say hi to. And Matt was like, you absolutely wouldn't. And I was like, no, I think I would. He's like, you definitely would not. And I was like, maybe I would just make you say hi to her for me. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. So that's what happens.
But we heard that she's like super nice to her fans.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I think I would because she is known to be really nice to her fans and like is appreciative. But I don't know.
Yeah. I met Steph Curry and I like didn't fangirl out. We actually had like a fun conversation. Given I was if I wasn't drunk, I was close to drunk.
Mm.
And I'm confident that if I were to meet Steph Curry again, he would remember me. So
Mm.
I'm confident in and maybe it was because I had like no nerves and I had already like just snuck into the owner's seats at the Astros game that I'm like, what the fuck else can I do? And I end up talking to Steph Curry at the game.
Yeah.
But um yeah, I don't think that I don't know. I think there's something to be said about people who are able to like humanize celebrities
Yeah.
and recognize like they're just people too. And then if a celebrity acts in the like, don't you know who I am way, then like fuck that person.
Well, I think that's the thing for me is that like I know that they're just people, so I feel stupid going up to them because I'm like, you're
Yeah.
just a literal person. Like it doesn't matter. So then I go up to them and I look like such an idiot. That's really it's more about me feeling dumb than being like nervous that they're gonna be rude. Like I wouldn't care, but it's just like
Mhm.
what am I supposed to say? Like I'm a fan. I don't know. I just like, oh, I'm a big fan. Like, I mean, what do you say to this person that's just a person? That's what I think the thing is with me that like makes it feel weird.
Yeah, I think a part of it is when you're able to like appreciate something about them versus like their
Right.
work. You know what I mean? Like I think of um like Taylor Swift loves her fans so much and I feel like if you were to say to her like, "Hey, I'm a huge fan of your music," or whatever, like she wants to hear that more than like, "Oh my god, I love you." Like no, I appreciate what you like put out into this world and in the
Yeah.
same way of like I mean, I don't know how you say like, "Hey, Teresa Giudice, like I love the reality TV content you put out in this
Well,
world."
I would be
But
like, love you, hate your sister in law, hate your brother. I'm
Gia's
a
my
tree hugger all
favorite.
the way. Yeah, love your daughters, your four daughters. Yeah. Um, Valencia just dropped a bomb in the chat that she kissed a person that was in a famous R&B group and then just walked away. And I'm dying to know who it was. You don't have to out it publicly, but like send us a DM or
Yeah,
something,
DM
Valencia. I need
us.
to know.
Leave us clues. Make it a little
Yeah.
adventure for us. All right, I guess we can start talking about the challenge again. Thank you for derailing us,
Sure.
Valencia. We love you.
We love the
Um,
derailment.
we really do. We're good at it. So we said the only two that completed it were Jordan and Anissa, as well as Nelson and Nerys. Behind Neris's genius idea of let her hang and Nelson jump and use his momentum to get the flag. But again, something that like I was confused by was Gordon was super happy for Nelly T. He was like the happiest for them.
I'm just thrown. I'm thrown. I would like to get maybe a segment of Jordan the same way that we got of Tori talking about like maybe he's in a better place or maybe he's and
Yeah.
this is not I'm not trying to shade him. Maybe he's like taking care of his mental health and has come out on the other side a better person. Maybe he's on some medication that like makes him nicer. I don't know. Like something to make it make sense because right now it's not making sense. If that's what it is, then like shout out to him. I would love that. But like it's weird right now with no explanation why he's being so nice.
And I think you make a great point because I don't think Tori's ever been in a place where she's been considered problematic. Like there's people who don't like her
Mm-hmm.
and but I don't think you can necessarily point to like Tori said this about this subgroup or minority of people where you can say the same thing about Jordan. You can
Yeah.
show places that he's disrespected women. Like so seeing how
Do you remember what
Tori
he said to Jemmy in that like diss battle? I'm not going to repeat it because it was horrible, but like on the bus,
not off the
they
top
were
of my
having
head.
like a rap diss battle a while ago. It was really bad. It was really bad.
So we know what he's capable of and um like not to get too I don't even know what the word is right now, but I think our like current culture is very good at taking one or multiple mistakes and like hanging those over your head for an extended period of time. And even if you do grow, we don't want to accept that you've grown or try to like do whatever to
Mm-hmm.
fix your behaviors and like learn and all of this. And like Jordan, like I said, I think is currently getting a chance that he maybe doesn't deserve. But
Mm-hmm.
to see him come out so far and be like so nice and positive and respectful of not just his partner, but like everyone, and it be
Yeah.
so confusing. Like you said, like give us a confession of Jordan being like, yeah, I said and done some fucked up shit in the past,
Yeah.
and I have done this work to realize I need to be better and whatever. Like, give us some insight because right now I just like am waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm like,
Yeah. It doesn't
when
make any sense.
when are we getting the twin twist? And Jordan comes back in for Gordon type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't. Yeah, I would like some kind of explanation.
Mm-hmm. And it could be as simple as like, I realize in the past I did these things and I'm actively trying to be better about it. Like, that's it. It
Mm-hmm.
could take one simple sentence and I'd be like, okay. And maybe you're putting on the show so that you can be on the show, but hopefully, like, these actions become more common for you and less
Right.
forced or whatever. But, or maybe he's done, like, I don't know, he was with Tori for a while, and she
Yeah.
doesn't strike me as someone who is like hateful in a way. She's very much
Right.
like I don't know, she strikes me as like happy, love everything, like type of person. So maybe he learned from that. I don't know, but it still is
Yeah.
just like, it's weird. It's
Very weird.
a startling weird.
Very, very weird.
All right. After the daily, we go back to the house and we get to, I don't even know what they're calling it. We're 4 episodes in and I can't remember. Um,
Interrogation?
is that it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Sure. We'll call it that.
Maybe.
So we get Nelson and Nerys talking about their strategy, and they're in an interesting situation because Nelson clearly not a rookie, Nerys clearly a rookie. So
Yeah.
Nelson, especially after last season, because Nelson was very much like, don't go after a vet, we're vet strong, blah blah. Like, if you were to come in and take a shot at a vet, it would not be good news.
Yeah. And I like the way that he kind of was like, here's where I'm coming from. I came into this game going after the vets. And I like that he like explained himself to her rather than just being like,
Mhm.
we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what's happening.
No, he heard her out. Like, I like
Yeah.
their partnership. It
Me
seems
too.
like they are communicating and respecting each other's ideas. And I do think that it is very heads up by Nerys to be like, well, what happens if this goes solo? Then like, I'm
Yeah.
fucked. And she is
Yeah.
trying to think ahead. And
Yeah. She's
um
smart.
I do think it's also unfortunate that she says that a lot of the vet women like won't give her the time of day. Um
Yeah. I'm not surprised though.
Oh, me neither in the slightest, but I
Yeah.
do think it's unfortunate.
It is for sure. And this is why
So,
it's frustrating that they bring these vet teams back because they just allow all these people to just like stack up against all
mhm.
of the rookies. And it's like, I think it's especially like unfortunate when it's women against women because it's like, can we just like, new women are coming in to this circle? Like, can you just accept them? Doesn't mean you have to work with them, but like, party with them, hang out with them, get to know them. There's no reason not to.
Right. No, I agree with you. And it feels like they still do like the earn your stripes thing, but it doesn't mean you need to like treat people less than human.
Right.
You can at least get to know them on a social level.
Right.
You don't have to
Exactly.
necessarily work with them.
Yeah.
Um, we Oh, you know what? We had like the night out before we actually had the interrogation because
Yes, we
this
did.
is
That's true.
where the plan comes to fruition. So Nelly T and Olivia are hooking up, which
Hmm.
is slightly confusing based off of the information we learned about Olivia last week. But we spent enough time talking about that last week that I'm just going to accept what is happening on my screen for what it
Yeah.
is and just know what I know about Olivia in the back of my head.
Can I say one thing that's rude about Olivia?
Please.
This look with like this blue,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a sports bra or like a shirt that's tied up. It's like not working for me or
It,
her. And that's, I'm going to leave it there. It's just like not a good look. I hate it. I hate it.
yeah, it is a little weird looking.
It's like jarringly
Yeah.
bad.
I think like the hair doesn't help it.
Yeah. Maybe it's the hair. Yeah. And the makeup and like, it's a
One of them
lot.
needs to change.
There's a lot happening there.
Yes. But in their going out club night, we have Nelson, Nerys, Olivia, and Horacio sitting down talking together. And Nelson straight up says to Olivia, which I appreciate, he's like, listen, I can't not put you in. Like, I have to put you in
Yeah.
because I need to show to the vets that I'm working with them.
Yep.
And I thought that was like, good on you, Nelly T, for being the way he delivered it was also like very or done very well, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think he
But
could have been
then,
very much like, sorry, fuck you.
yeah. But what impressed me more was Olivia's response because I would have expected her to be like, okay, like, go fuck yourself. But instead, she's like, no, I absolutely understand. And why don't we make this like a play here? Why don't we
Yeah.
make some strategy out of this? Like, you have to put us in because if you don't, obviously you have the vets on your ass. And then in addition, like, it makes it seem like we're working together because we're hooking up or whatever.
Yeah.
So no, put us in. Like, let's leave some room for some guessing of what's going on here. And for her reaction to be that, I mean, especially coming from like Love Island of all shows,
Yeah, I was surprised.
I was like, okay, I hate that you suck as a human outside of this because like I love you as a challenge player. Like
Yeah.
you haven't done anything wrong for me as a challenge player. You're in here hooking up, you're politicking, you are crushing game like dailies and eliminations
Yep.
and shit. I hate that I have to hate you.
I know. I know. Well, it helps me just picture her in that blue outfit. And then I'm like, oh, I do hate you.
But for her reaction to be that logical to
Yeah, I
me
liked
was so
it.
impressive.
It was impressive. It was really impressive. Yeah, it's frustrating. I wish we could just feign ignorance, but unfortunately, we can't. But I really liked this interaction between them because like it feels like anybody else in the house would be like, "What the fuck? You're putting me in? Like we're hooking up." Like, but
Mhm.
also Fessy put in Colleen last week and she didn't freak out either, and they're
Yeah,
hooking up. So, but she didn't strategically like try and game it the way Olivia did.
right. And also, I think that like Fessel would have, I don't know, just like his way of maneuvering. I don't know. I feel like people might not have come back at Fessy as strongly as they would have at
Yeah,
Nelson. I think
yeah,
Nelson's an easier target to be like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" Where, like, I don't know if Fessy gets as much blowback if he doesn't do that.
yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
But here is the plan, um, really driven by, I think, more Olivia than anybody else out of this four. Nerys
Yeah,
and Nelson very much supported it. Horacio's just like, "Tell me what to do and I'll do it."
yeah. This is really risky though.
Oh, absolutely. Like, everything has to go to plan.
Yeah, like I'm coming from the big brother mindset here of like never like pawns go home, never
Yes.
volunteer to go on the block, and like the fact that she was like, yeah, just say my name. Maybe it's I mean, the challenge is a little different, but it feels very it's really risky. And if it didn't work out, that would have sucked, but now it feels like since it did work out, she probably has or as the team probably really strengthened their relationship with Nelson. It seems like were able to make inroads with Darrell and Veronica. So it ended up working out.
I need Darrell and Veronica to sit their new friend Olivia down and just talk to her about,
Me too.
um, like real life.
Yeah, same. I have to wonder, like, do these conversations come up in the house?
There's
Like,
no
they
way they
have
don't.
to. They have to.
What else do you talk about? Especially like in 2022.
Right.
You have so much time in that house. There's no way. I also probably would guess is that they come up to an extent, but like, are you going to risk your game pushing hard for like Trump 2024 or like uh fucking what is it, like
Right.
let's go Brandon or whatever the fuck it
Yeah.
was, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
or on the other end of it, like being pro Democrat and Joe Biden and all this stuff. So like um I have a feeling someone like Veronica doesn't care as much as uh some others do about keeping their mouth shut, I have a feeling that
Yeah.
she would. I mean, she's been so progressive um, for years in terms of what she
Yeah.
would say and do, like the
Very
shirt she used to
outspoken.
wear
Yeah.
and everything, that I wouldn't be surprised if she heard something that she wouldn't turn and be like, "Oh."
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Um, but I imagine that there has to just kind of be some sort of like, I accept you for who you are, and I'm going to ignore some of these things
Yeah.
about you that I don't like.
Yeah.
But um, I feel like people do it with Sarah Lucina a lot. Not to bring her
Ugh.
up, but anyway.
Ugh.
Okay, so then we get the interrogation, and we find out that Nelson and Nerys pick the following four pairs: Colleen and Kim, Tommy and Annalise, Darrell and Veronica, and Olivia and Horacio.
Mhm.
I appreciate how straight up they were with Tommy and Annalise being like,
Me too. Like,
hey, what are
good
we?
luck.
Yeah, they're like, good luck tonight. Like, basically said, you're going in.
Yeah.
Be
I
ready.
like that. I like that.
And then they did their maneuvering with the other pairs, being like, save this pair, save this pair. Okay, cool. We got it. So
Yeah. Pretty
they,
successful reign of power for Nelly
yeah,
T. As Gordon says later, uh, Nelly T's a mastermind. And
nice.
Nerys,
He
obviously.
somehow shot up the ladder
Yeah.
of masterminds
What a
because,
successful win.
yeah, the vets aren't mad.
Yep. Two rookie teams went in.
Yeah,
The
I
girl he
mean,
was hooking up with is safe. Like everything is good.
yeah, everything's fine. I guess like the one downfall is that Kim and Colleen are coming back, because I think that they
Yeah.
are more likely to beat someone in an elimination than obviously Tommy and Annalise after their performance. But
I wouldn't even say their performance. I would say
his, yeah,
Tommy's performance. But yeah, I think luckily I don't think that Colleen and Kim could really blame Nelson and Nerys. It feels like they would more so blame Horacio and Olivia.
hmm yeah, I agree with you. But I also think that people have put more value, besides maybe Fessy, in Olivia and Horacio in terms of like, oh, I don't want to go against them in elimination. Given like, I don't think that Kim and Colleen are anything to like overlook. I think that they can be strong as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, if that's like the one negative of it, that's pretty decent because no matter what, especially as these rookie numbers dwindle, like what are they the only rookie pair left now? I think so. Or there's two.
Well,
There's Kim
Olivia and
and Colleen
Horacio
and
and Kim and
Olivia and
Colleen.
Horacio. There's like otherwise everyone has at least one vet, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So people mathematically next time are gonna start eating each other and
Finally, we've been waiting
like
so long.
just by throwing vets in. I mean, given we got a little bit of it in the first week, Johnny and Raven gave us a strong start, but then fell victim to being rookies. So
I'm hoping for maybe an Olivia and Horacio win next week to throw in two rookie teams. I mean, vet teams, just to see if they would actually do that. I don't know if they
mhm.
would or if they would just play it safe again and throw in Kim and Colleen again. But um, I don't know. Something's got to give here, though, with this like rookie massacre.
But that's the thing is if they put in Kim and Colleen, that means there is
Another
three
vet pair
teams
has to
where
go
at
in.
least
Yeah.
one vet is
That's true. We
going
need to see
in.
these vets scramble a little bit. They haven't
Yeah.
faced any adversity in this game whatsoever.
Yeah, I think the scrambling mathematically has to start next week because they're the only two rookie
Yeah,
teams left. So especially if one of them were to win, that would be very interesting.
quite.
We've kind of like skipped over the the elimination, but
Oh, let's talk about it.
so to describe this elimination, there's like a backboard that you get put on if you have to get like escorted away in an ambulance, and one teammate is strapped in to said backboard, and the other one has to use a rope to pull the player on the backboard up, so it's like it raises on an angle, and when that player is raised, they are figuring out a puzzle. If you lower the player, they like end up in this pool of mud, which puddle of mud if that's your music, but um and the first team to finish their puzzle wins.
Yes.
So Nelson and Nerese put in Tommy and Annalise and say, like, you made a double promise in front of everyone and didn't keep your word. Very easy to put you in. We can't trust you. And then Horacio and Olivia pulled a sword that
Yep.
says safe. And I loved how Jarrell went up and was like using his magic to try and pull the safe one. Oh, love him. So they choose to save Jarrell and Veronica, which puts Colleen and Kim into the elimination.
Mm-hmm.
So Tommy and Kim are the people who are holding / pulling the rope. Now Kim is like got to be at least 6'4" and is jacked.
Yes. I want to ask you your opinion here. Do you think that Annalise was not allowed to pull the rope? Because
No,
I think she would have done a better job.
Me too. I think Annalise should have done it.
Yeah. I was watching it like they probably weigh the same, if not like he weighs less than her. And I think she's more athletic and like
muscular.
It didn't really make sense to me why they would have put her on the board.
Yeah, same. I thought the same thing, especially seeing Tommy struggle for so long.
I wonder if they could have switched it. I mean, like, let us switch out.
I mean, they should have at the point when your own competitor is giving you advice on how to suck less. They should.
This was like a mess. Nitro has some feelings about this elimination. But yeah, I feel like I was getting so frustrated watching this because of the way Tommy was positioning himself on the platform. It's just like he had no idea. He would just like kept jerking it instead of like trying to ground himself and get leverage on the rope.
Yes. Even the way when he described, like, I've got a great strategy. I'm going to pull myself all the way back, where it's like,
and I'm like, no.
Do you not know how like your center of balance works?
Right.
And like your legs, like your power comes from your quads, your hamstrings, your butt, and your core. And you flattening all that out does not give you any power whatsoever.
Right. Like I was like, why is he not squatting down or like planting himself on the ground? Like I think there's a very similar challenge like to this not to this specifically, but something where they have to like hold I think they even did it maybe in this past week's Survivor episode where they had to like pull something and then just like hold it, which is a little different, but like everybody's squatting down and like planting themselves. But he is like standing on one foot, balancing, trying to like just jerk it with just his arms. And I was like, first of all, he's probably going to hurt himself because of the way his body is just like contorting in like a complete 90-degree angle. But also like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Nitro agrees. What was he doing?
I have the same question for Nitro. What is he doing? The neighbor's dog must have just come back from a walk. Yeah, there was nothing athletic about what he was doing. And I felt so bad for Annalise just like continuing to get dunked in the mud. And it was just everyone was like trying to give him pointers on how to successfully do this, including Kim. Was like, you know, it's bad when the person you're going against is trying to.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
It was a little. I don't want to say it was embarrassing, but it was embarrassing.
Yeah, I never need to see Tommy on the challenge again, just based off that performance alone.
Yeah, and then like when he started crying, not to be a total asshole, but like I laughed.
Oh, When TJ like applauded his crying,
And they all were like, "We love you, Tommy. Come back." I was like, "What? This is the worst elimination performance I think I've ever seen." And typically, like, people would be ripping this guy apart, especially for him
yes,
to then just start. There's nothing wrong with crying, especially if you're a man. There's nothing wrong with it. But like,
the
TJ was like, "This
sobbing
shows how
and
much you care about this game," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't. This
he's
shows
just
nothing
incredibly
about how he cares."
embarrassed.
He's embarrassed, and maybe he's upset that he upset Annalise or like let down Annalise, but he doesn't care about this game.
No, I was like, I'm uncomfortable with how intensely he's crying right now. Um,
Yeah,
and I kind of wanted TJ to make fun of them a little bit.
me too.
And
Me
he's like,
too.
"No." And so he kept saying like, "Oh, you gave so much heart and this and that." I'm like, "Don't say I hope to see you back because
He's like, I
no."
really hope to see you both back. And I'm like, you
He's like, "No,
do?
no, we don't, TJ. That's the issue. No, we don't."
Yeah, no, we definitely don't. We definitely don't. What a time this was. I just like I don't know. It's rough.
I did
And
like
then
though
Annalise just being
afterwards.
like, believe in yourself. I'm like, that's not helpful
Yeah.
advice. Tell him to plant it. I guess maybe she couldn't see, but like plant
Yeah.
yourself down. Like lower your center of gravity. What are you doing? Why are you standing on one foot? And like just
Mhm.
she did say like stop jerking it, like because he was just
Yeah.
like jerk. Like I'm like, what the fuck? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
It was not good. There was nothing good about it.
No, nothing at all. Jordan loves Tommy though. Loves Tommy
Jordan,
Bracco.
yeah, he's like, "He's great." I don't understand. Okay, whatever. We
What?
talked about that
Okay. Did you
already.
even interact? Like I'm just yeah. Like,
I
eh.
do love TJ's like description of Colleen and Kim's win though, where he's like, "Kim, you could have gone forever holding her, and even if your partner was an idiot with puzzles, but
Yes.
luckily for you, she's not."
Yeah, I was like, wait, is he like congratulating them or just like being a dick? Like I can't tell what's happening here.
Just like, "What are you doing, Teach? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So, TJ congratulates them. They're back up with the crew. Before they leave, they're like, "Is somebody else coming?" And like we mentioned, I'd heard that Veronica convinced quite a few of them that Cara Maria and Polly were showing up. So they were all standing there like, "Oh my God." And I did think it was funny where they're like, "He said to leave. Leave before he changes his mind."
Yeah. That was
But
funny. That was funny.
we are hopefully at the point, I think we're at the point where we are not getting any new players.
I hope so. And I hope we don't get any twists either. Like I get it would be fun to see the team switch up or people go solo, but like let's just stick with the formula that we have.
I
I
honestly,
like the four people going in, and I think that can get
yeah,
like really spicy soon, so I'd hate to see
it's
that
going
change.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I honestly would be very surprised if they change it up because like how can you change it up that is going to make it be more dynamic than what it currently has potential to be with how I mean, we are two rookie pairs away from there being a vet on every team. So no matter what, vets are going in next week.
Yeah.
They might not be in the elimination, and that's like even a small percentage chance that that happens. Um, but vets are at least there's going to be at least one vet pair, or not vet pair, but pair with a vet on it that's going to be down there pulling daggers
Yeah.
next week. At
Yeah.
least one,
And
maybe
I just
more.
hope it's again not Daryl and Veronica because that would be
Yeah.
such a lame cop out.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm still really liking the season overall. I wish they were showing us more of what was actually happening in the house, but
Hmm.
in general, I think this cast was pretty good, is pretty good. And especially now, like like you're saying, the fact that hopefully we're not getting anybody new, and these people actually have to start playing the game instead of coasting on for a month and a half or whatever it's been. I'm really excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get this going. Which I mean, today's Monday, so 2 nights from now we
Yeah,
get
two
another
nights from
episode.
now. Hmm.
Sweet. All right. Anything else you need to say about this episode?
No, I don't think so.
All right, then let's close this out. Katie, what are you doing online these days?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
online.
me.
Oh, you can
There you
follow
go.
me at
That's you.
KGD. Oh no, that's not me. You can follow me at Real Slim Katie on Twitter if you would like to do that. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Real Slim Katie with an underscore at the end. You can also check me out on Sound Podcast and a couple of other places. Naomi and I dropped The High Ground yesterday. We covered episodes 8 and 9 of Andor, the Star Wars series on Disney Plus. Which, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're not watching, shame on you. So watch it and then listen to our opinions, because it's probably the best Star Wars maybe that's ever been created. You can also hear me on our Big Brother podcast, Bounce Checks, but I don't think these episodes are coming out technically as Bounce Checks. And they might only be on YouTube. I actually don't really know. I'm not listen, I'm not in charge, okay? But check us out on YouTube. We talked about Big Brother 21 yesterday. Isaiah's dropping a new episode, I think every Sunday or Monday, talking about a past season. He's going in reverse order, so it's been pretty fun. So we did that one yesterday. If you want to hear us talk more about Tommy and Annalise, top of mind today for me. You can also tomorrow, if you're watching us live, Tuesday, if you're not watching us live, Chanel and Javier are going to do our final Fire and Pod about House of the Dragon. The season is over, but we're going to do our last ranking of the cast and tier list and all that good stuff, and just give our final thoughts on season 1. And you can hear Kari and I talk about all things Real Housewives on the Cool Water Show.
Preach. I have to catch up on Real Housewives. I've been very much concerned about catching up with the challenge season 37, just because like once I start something I just want to like finish it, so maybe tonight. Online I'm KGD26. I'm not doing anything too exciting right now. I'm just kind of like existing. So in terms of podcasts, actually what I'm doing, I played a ton of pickleball this weekend. So that's really what I'm doing, is I played probably like 5 to 6 hours of pickleball this weekend.
Damn.
Yeah, my knees were fucking shot. I was like, Brett, you're gonna have to take out Nitro, because I think I'm stuck on the couch for the next 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, these things don't work how they used to.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can, I don't even know if I've been tweeting lately. Probably not. So in conclusion, just, follow me and I'll pop up with something stupid and or entertaining in the near future, I'm sure. In terms of podcasts, Katie Ray said what I'm doing. We've got this, and we've got Real Housewives over on the Cool Water Show with Potomac and Salt Lake City. So one great season and one Salt Lake City. So
this week's episode was pretty unhinged. I'm actually kind of excited to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. We'll sort when we're doing that as soon as we end this. But we can listen to all that stuff. You can watch us on YouTube or on Twitch. I almost said Switch. On Twitch. So search Silent Podcast and subscribe. Then you can also follow us on Twitter, silent_podcast. So you can listen to us in podcast form.
Oh, that's not us.
Oh, shoot. They're changing us again. It's fine. So you can listen to us in podcast form on Apple, Spotify, all those things. Subscribe to Sound Podcasts, rate, review, 5 stars, or keep it moving. We don't accept anything less than 5 stars around here. I swear we've put out 5-star content before, so just like wait for one if this isn't it for you. That's it.
Yeah.
Valencia, I did not have a banner blooper in this instance. Someone else changed our background. This was not a Kari problem, I promise you. Katie,
sometimes it happens when we overlap with another podcast that might be recording and they get all their stuff set up. It changes ours too, I guess, because we're also podcasting. It's weird.
Yeah, so this one wasn't me. I would take responsibility for it. So it is a blooper, just not my fault.
Yeah.
But we'll end this so that the other podcasts can start recording, I guess. So in conclusion, we'll see you next week for our coverage of the next episode. Or if you want to catch us on Real Housewives, we'll be back with that soon. But until then, thanks for listening. Bye.